With fire season just around the corner, we have information on how to keep your family safe. And a beloved Cal State Fullerton baseball coach throws a curve ball.
Plus, famed student activist gets caught in the act. That's all today on OC News.
Hello, I'm Sabrina Johnson.
And I'm Bailey Quist, and you're watching OC News, brought to you by the broadcast students at Cal State Fullerton.
Defense Secretary Robert Gates raised the possibility of cutting U.S. troop levels in Iraq to 100,000 by the end of next year, surpassing the president's cuts. Surpassing the cuts the president has already approved. Although many in Congress have pushed hard for big reductions to bring the war to a conclusion, it was the first time a member of Bush's war cabinet has publicly suggested such intense cutbacks. Gates said that conditions in Iraq could improve enough to the advantage of a substantial troop reduction than what are currently scheduled for 2008. Bush announced that he approved a plan recommended by General David Petraeus, the top U.S. commander in Iraq, to reduce troop levels from the current 20 combat brigades to 15 brigades by July. Gates said it was too early for Petraeus or others to predict with confidence any additional cuts. The defense secretary confirmed that he was referring to the possibility of cutting from the level of 15 combat brigades in July to the 10 brigades at the end of 2008, and that would translate to roughly 1,000 troops. As fire season draws near, Courtney Reed has tips on how to keep your family and home safe from disaster.
There have been over 10 fires in Orange County so far this year. As more and more homes are built on forested areas, residents who live there are at an increased risk for wildfire damage and may be unprepared.
My main fear is my family. If a fire broke out around here, I don't know what I would do. I'd be helpless without the fire department.
The Windy Ridge fire in Anaheim in March forced the evacuation of almost 3,000 homes due to a stolen car being set on fire. The fire forced residents to figure out what would they do if this were to happen again. Every year you should prepare for fire season by getting familiar with your fire extinguisher, putting together an emergency kit that includes 3 days worth of food and water, create a family plan including several different escape routes from your house, and periodically review your homeowner's insurance policy. If a wildfire is threatening your home, listen to your portable radio for reports and evacuation information, arrange temporary housing outside the threatened area, and most importantly, when advised to evacuate, do so immediately. For OC News, I'm Courtney Reed.
A Pennsylvania college student leader was charged with a DUI just weeks after saying the media has unfairly portrayed students as irresponsible. The 21-year-old Bloomsburg University student, Christopher Bevan, was pulled over last weekend after a campus police officer said he saw the student driving more than 50 miles per hour in a 15-mile-per-hour zone. Authorities say Bevan's blood alcohol level was 0.147%. The legal limit for drivers in Pennsylvania is 0.08%. Bevan recently wrote a letter to the Press Enterprise of Bloomsburg about media coverage of the Central Pennsylvania College's annual block party, an event critics have described as rowdy and alcohol-fueled. Bevan expressed his concerns to the newspaper by stating that BU students are negatively and inaccurately portrayed to the community. Bevan declined to say if he would step down from his position.
Cal State Fullerton has a new baseball coach. Jonathan Camus has more on the story.
Thanks, Sabrina. Titan baseball fans were shocked last week when they heard that their beloved coach George Horton was leaving for greener pastures to coach in Oregon. It came as a surprise to many here on campus, but the good news is that Fullerton has already found a worthy suitor, his former assistant coach and rival at UC Irvine, Dave Serrano.
Goodwin Field has had its fair share of great moments over the years. The Fullerton Titans are one of the most prestigious baseball programs in the country. They've won 4 national titles. The last one, in 2004, was under now former head coach George Horton. The Daily Titan says it all. George Horton is leaving after 14 years at Fullerton to try and rebuild the Oregon Ducks. The University of Oregon hasn't had a baseball team since 1981. Most Fullerton students weren't even born the last time the Ducks fielded a team. But Horton got an offer he just couldn't refuse. Horton will be making $400,000 his first year in Oregon. $250,000 of that coming from combined contracts with Nike, TV, and radio. Horton was at Goodwin Field for the announcement of his successor.
Introduce you to our new head baseball coach, Dave Serrano.
Glad that he's here today because I know at least I know that my shadow is right next to me and I don't have to be looking over my shoulder all the time.
It's a pretty good shadow.
The toughest part for Horton was leaving the athletes he recruited and coached this past season.
That was very difficult. It was probably the toughest meeting I've ever had to conduct in my life to a group of athletes, to tell them that I decided to leave, and I was bawling like a baby. It was a very emotional meeting. I tried to remind them that our relationship would go on forever, even if they were a little mad at me for deserting them. Whether they liked it or not, I was going to be a big part of their life emotionally for the rest of their lives.
Oregon hopes to have their program ready by 2009. Until then, Dave Serrano doesn't see any reason why George Horton won't be just as successful as he was in Fullerton.
Coach Horton's going to win wherever he's at, and I think the Northwest is very lucky to have him on board over there at the University of Oregon.
I can't think of a more deserving individual to take Cal State Fullerton baseball into bigger and better things in the future, and I'm sure he'll prove to everybody that they'll forget about George Horton in a hurry.
Maybe if Coach Serrano adds a 5th championship to the Titans, they can get rid of this plaque and add a whole lot more.
I talked to some players who did not want to be on camera, and they told me that they expect a smooth transition between the two coaches because of their similar styles. Sabrina, I talked to Coach Horton, and he told me he will be coming down to Goodwin Field to watch a couple of their games this season, and he will always bleed the colors of the Titans, orange and blue.
Thanks, Jonathan. This weekend marked the beginning of something new as California State University kicked off its 50th anniversary celebration. Alumni from around the world made their way back to then what was known as the Orange County State College. Among the events this weekend was the mock elephant race that commemorated the first intercollegiate elephant race in human history back in 1962. The race took a turn into the 21st century. The mock races included robotic elephants built by engineering students. The race is also the source behind the school's beloved mascot, Tuffy Titan. The open house allowed guests to roam their old stomping grounds. On Sunday, the Mariachi Divas took the stage and brought life to the party. The university plans more events throughout its 50th year. Looking to add a little more spice to your diet? We will tell you how after the break.
And if you missed the Emmys over the weekend, stay tuned. We have the scoop next.
Justin Hall from Missouri claims he lost 40 pounds eating a Chipotle burrito every day. He started the spicy new diet 3 months ago, and so far, a burrito a day has him moving up the notches on his belt. Hall's burrito packs a whopping 100,000 calories, which is less than a daily intake. Nutritionists say it will work for a while, but it's not a weight loss plan you should stick with. Hall said he's not exercising, but he did drop his daily soda. He's drinking more water and taking multivitamins.
What does Latin rap and the Homies Hip Hop Show have in common? With the answer and more, Jamie Nomura has the story.
The Latin Rap Conference is partnering with the launch of Homies Hip Hop Show. Homies is not only for the Latino community, but for all cultures. Homies Hip Hop Show is the first of its kind on LA TV because it is stop motion animation. Homies has been around for more than 20 years. It all started with a student and his drawings.
When I created Homies, it was just for fun. It was just to entertain myself, to keep my bills paid So no, I had no idea. It wasn't drawn to make money. Now I'm drawn to make money. I mean, that's the goal. It's a commercial forever. That's pop culture.
Some local comedians have been lending their voice to the Homies Hip Hop Show. A local Los Angeles comedian that has been doing voices for Homies is Eric Lopez. Eric does different celebrities and other character voices, and even our very own President George Bush.
And the burrito from Chipotle, I made a mistake. The correction is 1,330 calories for the Chipotle burrito. And yoga retreats have exploded in recent years as stressed out workers contemplate their plans for retirement. Yoga and wellness vacations promise more than mere relaxation. They promise more than mere relaxation. They promise lots of fun. Yoga and wellness vacations promise more than mere relaxation. They promise transformation. People are coming for life-changing experiences. From luxury hotel resorts to rustic retreats, yoga offerings and yoga-centric vacations are luring vacationers who desire more than entertainment and a fabulous place to stay. Yoga vacations come in many variations. The high-end can range from packages at luxurious resorts to all-inclusive vacations to India, Chile, and Bali. The variety of choices includes more rigorous treatments that offer the bare bones, more meditation than amenities at a lesser cost.
There are civil organizations whose tasks are to maintain public order, such as the police. However, can you imagine there are researchers who spy on people in public restrooms called the hand-washing police? Well, it's true, and they're on the prowl. According to their latest stakeout, 1/3 of men didn't bother to wash after using the bathroom, compared with 12% of women. They reported their latest findings Monday at a meeting of infectious diseases. Their latest study was based on observations last month of more than 6,000 people in 4 big cities. Frequent hand washing is the single best thing people can do to avoid getting sick from colds and flu to germs lurking in food, doctors say. Researchers for the American Society for Microbiology found that only 77% actually did wash their hands after using a public restroom. That is a 6% decline from a similar study done back in 2005. A friendly suggestion is to carry sanitizer gels and wipes in case they are needed.
The 59th Primetime Emmy Awards were held on Sunday at the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles. Hollywood came out to play at the star-studded event hosted by Emmy rookie Ryan Seacrest. The big winners who took home the gold included Outstanding Supporting Actor and Actress in a Comedy, Jeremy Piven for Entourage, and Jamie Presley for My Name is Earl. Outstanding Supporting Actor and Actress in a Drama Series went to Terry O'Quinn for Lost and Katherine Heigl for Grey's Anatomy. Outstanding Lead Actor and Actress in a Comedy Series went to Ricky Gervais for Extra and to America Ferrera for Ugly Betty. In addition, Outstanding Lead Actor and Actress in a Drama Series went to James Spader for Boston Legal and to Sally Field for Brothers and Sisters. Regarded as one of television's best ever series, The Soprano aired its final show this past June, leaving many viewers grumbling about the mysterious cut-to-black ending. However, The Sopranos weren't left in the dark. This time, they took home the Emmy for Outstanding Drama Series. That's it for OC News. I'm Sabrina Johnson.
Join us here again next week for more Orange County news and trends. Thanks for watching.